ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So next, same model. In the previous class we discussed about velocity time graph. Body moves with uniform acceleration alpha and uniform retardation beta. So for that situation we can calculate the displacement, and we calculate that the maximum velocity. But for the same situation, one more condition it is, so this is velocity time graph and the shape of the graph will be like that, like this. So this is acceleration alpha and this acceleration beta, retardation, sorry. This is acceleration alpha and this is retardation beta. And here for the small time t2, the body travels with uniform velocity. For the small time t2, the body travels with uniform velocity. Now find out this displacement. See here, the question is, just I am writing the question. So body starts from rest, moves with uniform acceleration alpha. After that it moves with uniform velocity for some time t2, uniform velocity for some time t2, and again it moves with retardation, and again it moves with retardation, and finally comes to rest. Here we have to calculate, find the displacement travelled with uniform velocity. Find the displacement travelled with uniform velocity. This is the question. So now we have to calculate, so this displacement, the displacement. So that is the question. Body starts from rest, moves with uniform acceleration alpha for some time. After that it moves with uniform velocity for some time t2, and again it moves with retardation and finally comes to rest. Find the displacement travelled with uniform velocity. That's we have to calculate. Find the displacement travelled with uniform velocity. So this is the displacement we have to calculate. For that purpose, see here, first, so this is velocity time graph. Let us say this total time is t. Next, if you consider only these two, alpha and beta, in the previous class we discussed already about this alpha beta. Forget about this uniform velocity condition, forget about that. Here the total time is t2, this time is t minus t2, right? Because from the starting point to ending point the total time is t2. But in the graph we are removing this uniform velocity situation. In the graph we are removing, we are not considering this uniform velocity situation. So if you remove this one, how much time reduced? T2. So the remaining time is T minus T2. Remaining time is T minus T2. So based on this we calculated V maximum. What is the V maximum formula? Alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T. T in the sense T minus T2. V maximum is equals to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. Actually it is T. In the previous situation we don't have this one. In the previous situation we don't have this one. That's why. So alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. That is the situation. Now displacement travelled. So during this total displacement, here it is. Without considering this one. Without considering this one. So S is equals to half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 whole square. S equals to half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 whole square. This is the displacement. In the previous class only we derived these two conditions. V maximum equals to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T. Displacement equals to half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T square. But here T is, from here to here the total time is T. We are not considering this uniform velocity situation. We are not considering this uniform velocity situation. That's why the remaining time we are excluding this T2. So the remaining is T minus T2. So V maximum is this one, S is this one. So if we include this for this situation and this situation, these are the V max and displacement. Then if we include this one also, now we consider this graph. We are considering this graph. Here velocity includes, uniform velocity includes here in this situation. Whatever is the velocity here, same velocity the body travels with this. So what is the possible velocity in this situation? This only. Body moves with uniform acceleration alpha, reaches to maximum and travels with uniform velocity for certain time and again moves with retardation. So in this situation, what is the maximum velocity we gain? Maximum velocity is equals to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. That is the maximum velocity. Here the body travels with uniform velocity. After time it moves with uniform velocity for certain time T2. What is that uniform velocity? Whatever is the maximum velocity attained by the body here, the body travels with that velocity only. Whatever is the maximum velocity attained by the body, then the body travels with that velocity. What is that velocity? Alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. Alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. That is the maximum velocity. So for this, here what we have to calculate? Displacements travelled during T2 time or during uniform velocity. Displacement travelled during T2 velocity, T2 time. So what is the shape here? Displacement in the sense area under velocity time graph. Displacement means area under velocity time graph. So this is the velocity time graph. So we have to find out the area. What is the area means? Base into heights. So S1 let us say. Base into height. Base is T2, height is V maximum. Height is nothing but V max. This is the shape of the graph. Square or rectangle, whatever it is. The shape it is. Base is time and height is V maximum. So S1 is equals to T2 into V max is alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. So this is the displacement. Displacement during uniform velocity. displacement traveled by the body during uniform velocity. So S is equals to T2 into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. So listen, so important modalities. For this graph, only these two we discussed in the previous situation. Now what is the extra thing? Uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means there is no change in acceleration. That's why here the shape of the graph is like this. Now we have to calculate the displacement during this time. Displacement during this time. Displacement equals to area under the graph. Area means base into height. What is the base for this? What is the base? T2. Height is V maximum. T2 into V maximum is alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2. So that is the displacement during this time. Next, now we have to calculate total displacement. What is the total displacement here? Total displacement before comes to rest. Total displacement traveled by the body before comes to rest, that is equals to S plus S1. So this is the displacement during this one and this period. This and this, the total displacement is S. Now the total displacement means this one plus this is half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 whole square plus it is alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 into T2. That is the situation. Now here alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 common. Alpha beta by alpha plus beta T minus T2 common. Here it is T minus T2 by 2 plus here T minus T2 whole square. So 1 T minus T2 common. So here is half T minus T2 plus T2. This total term common, alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 common. So here remaining value T minus T2 by 2 plus T2. So that is equals to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 into LCM 2 T minus T2 plus 2T2 by 2. So therefore total displacement is equals to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T minus T2 into T plus T2 by 2. T minus T2 plus 2T2 plus T2. So therefore from this total displacement can be written as S total is equals to half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into T square minus T2 square. See here, alpha beta by alpha plus beta, a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square, that is T square minus T2 square. This half come to the front, this half into alpha beta by alpha plus beta into a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square. So that's why T square minus T2 square. This is the total displacement travelled during this time. So that is the concept. If the shape of the graphs are given like that, how can we calculate these like this? Next. Next in these graphs, let us numericals, let us do one numerical value. This is velocity time graph. So the shape of the graph will be like that. That is the shape of the graph. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Let us say it is 5, it is 10. That is the given. This is velocity time graph. Velocity time graph. So here the time is in second. Time is in seconds. Time is in seconds, and velocity is in meter per second square. Velocity is in meter per second square. Now find the displacement travelled by the body in this situation. Here the question is, find the displacement during 8 seconds. During the time 8 seconds. So from 0 to 8 seconds, what is the total displacement travelled by the body? That's we have to calculate. So this is the velocity time graph. Velocity time graph this is. In velocity time graph, how can we calculate displacement? Area under the given graph gives displacement. No doubt about that. Area under the given graph. So what are the shapes here? This triangle shape, this rectangle shape, and here we can again divide this. Again this triangle shape and this rectangle shape and again triangle shape. We have to find out all these areas. First triangle, rectangle, next triangle, rectangle, next triangle. So let us give the numbering for this. And you may have one doubt. This is also in the triangle shape. This is also in the triangle shape. Why don't we consider this triangle and why don't we consider these rectangle shapes? You may have doubt like that. Why don't we consider this means? Here the condition is area under velocity time graph. Area under. So area under this graph only we have to consider, not above the graph. That is very important. Area under the graph gives displacement. Don't consider above the graph. So let us say it is the first, second shape, third shape, fourth, fifth shape. If we calculate the total area of this, we can get displacement. Displacement is equals to area under velocity time graph. Yes, displacement gives area under velocity time graph. So displacement is equals to area of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 shapes. So first area of the first shape. What is the shape of the first graph? Triangle. Half into base into height. What is the base? The base existing from 0 to 2, that is 2. What is the height? 5 plus area of the first shape only. What is the first shape here? Triangle. Half into base into height. Base is existing from 0 to 2, so that is 2. Height is 5. Next, what is the second shape? It is a rectangle. Rectangle. Base into height. What is the base here? The second shape base existing from 0 2 to 4. Second shape base This is the second shape. This base existing from 2 to 4. Then what is the value of base here? 2. 2 is the base. What is the height? 5. The height is 5. Plus. Third shape. Again it is triangle. Again half into base into height. What is the base here? This is the base, same base. The base existing from 4 to 6. Base of the third shape. This is the third shape here. Base of the third shape existing from 4 to 6. That is 2 only. Height is this height existing from 5 to 10. Height of the third shape. Height of the third shape existing from 5 to 10. That is by 5 only. Plus. Fifth shape. Again it is triangle. Again half into base into height. Base is 6 to 8. That is 2. Height is from 0 to 10. That is the areas. So 2 gets cancelled. It is 5 plus 10 plus 2 cancel. 5 plus 2 cancel. 10. So 10 plus 5, 15 plus 10, 25 plus 5, 30. That is the way to calculate the displacement. Area under displacement time graph gives area under displacement time graph gives area under velocity time graph gives displacement. That is here the shape is first shape is triangle, half into base into height. From what position to what position base exists, that we have to consider. Here existing from 0 to 2, that's why the base is 2. Height is from 0 to 5. Next, this base existing from 2 to 4. 2 to 4 means how much it is? 2 only. Next height is 5. Next it is again third one. This base existing from 4 to 6. So that is 2. Height existing from 5 to 10. 5 to 10. That's why it is 5 only. Like that. So this is way to calculate the area under this graph, and this is the way to calculate the displacement like this. Next, in the straight line motion, now we discuss about motion in a straight line. We come across displacement, distance displacement, velocity, uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, acceleration, speed, uniform speed, non-uniform speed, and that applications in that. Next, motion under gravity, body projected upwards, downwards, and applications in that, and graphs. So this is the chapter, motion in a straight line. So in this, let us say one application, we missed one application, that one is, for example, if a bullet fired from the gun, with velocity u, fired from the gun with velocity u. If it strikes the block and comes out with strikes one block or strikes with one plank and comes out with 1/nth of its original velocity. So that is the question. Bullet fired from the gun with velocity u. If that bullet strikes the plank or strikes the block, whatever it is, having certain thickness, strikes the block with having certain thickness, x, let us say, and comes out with velocity 1/nth of its original velocity. 1 by nth of its original velocity. Find how many number of strikes the plank, let us say. How many number of planks required to stop the bullet? This is one question. If a bullet fired from the gun with velocity u, if it strikes the plank and comes with 1 by nth of its original velocity, it comes out with 1 by nth of its original velocity, find how many number of planks required to stop the bullet. So that is important. So see here solution. Listen carefully. Let us consider a bullet traveling with velocity u. Let us say it is the plank having certain thickness x. After striking this, the velocity is u by n and comes out with 1 by nth of its original velocity, and it loses certain amount of velocity must be lost, and comes out with u by n. Comes out with what velocity? 1 by nth of its original velocity. That is the question. How many number of this type of planks required to stop the bullet? So how many planks will be arranged? How many planks will be arranged to stop this bullet? That is we have to calculate. See here, initial velocity is equals to u here, and final velocity is equals to u by n. I am calculating for one plank here. See here, initial velocity is u, final velocity is u by n, and displacement is x. What is the displacement traveled here? X. So from equation v square minus u square equals to 2as u by n whole square minus u square is equals to 2ax. U square by n square minus u square is equals to 2ax. Let us say it is equation 1. U square by n square minus u square equals to 2ax. This is one. So here we are calculating for only one plank. So first its velocity is u. After striking this plank, the velocity is u by n. After striking the plank, it comes out with velocity u by n. So v equals to u by n, s equals to x. Then v square minus u square equals to 2as. U square by n square minus u square equals to 2as. This is the situation, 2ax. What is x? Width of the plank. So here, next condition. This is the bullet travels with velocity u. If number of planks arranged like this, number of planks of equal thickness, after striking the final velocity becomes 0. After comes out, we don't know how many number of planks. So v is equals to 0. Finally, the bullet must comes to rest. After striking the last plank, the bullet must comes to rest. That is the situation. How many number of planks required to stop the bullet? Got it? First here we are calculating for first plank. After striking the first plank, what is the velocity? 1 by nth of its original velocity. That is the first case. Second case is how many planks required to stop the bullet? For example, we consider some m planks. X. So here initial velocity is equals to u, final velocity is equals to 0, displacement is equals to mx, where m is equals to number of planks We don't know how many number of planks. That's we have to calculate. So let M, each plank having the display, each plank having the width x. So if we arrange M number of planks, total width is mx, because the final velocity becomes 0. From equation v square minus u square equals to 2as here, 0 square minus u square equals to 2a is as is mx minus u square is equals to 2a mx, equation 2. It's the first equation, it's the second equation. First equation and second equation. So first equation we are calculating for one plank, and second equation number of planks required so that final velocity is 0. See here, the final velocity is 0. So that is the situation. Now equation 1 divided by equation 2. What is equation 1? U square by n square minus u square divided by, here it is, minus u square equal to, so 2ax 2amx, x, a, 2a cancel. Here u square common, 1 by n square minus 1 divided by minus u square, that is equals to 1 by m. The numerator and denominator here, u square common here, 1 by n square minus 1, u square gets cancelled. So m is equals to minus 1 by n square minus 1. So m is equals to minus 1 by 1 minus n square by n square. Minus 1, cross multiplication, minus 1 divided by 1 by n square minus 1, LCM is n square, 1 minus n square. Therefore m is equals to minus n square by 1 minus n square. Multiply with the minus the numerator and denominator, m can be written as n square by n square minus 1. M is equals to n square by n square minus 1. So this is the number of planks required. M is equals to n square by n square minus 1. M is equals to n square by n square minus 1. So this is the number of planks required to stop the bullet. So this is the concept. So first we calculated for one plank and we kept a number of planks. Number of plank means total width. Total width is, let us say, mx, where m is number of planks. So that is the situation. This is one model. We missed this model in the first cases, previous classes. So that's why here we covered this. Next. So now I think these books available to use to you people, and these books reaches to your doorsteps, I think. So in this book, so first we covered the chapter motion in a straight line. We covered the chapter motion in a straight line. So see here, in that motion in a straight line. So page number 43 onwards, this chapter exists. First, all of you people must go through the synopsis first. Synopsis and different, whatever are the concepts we covered, the same synopsis exists here. So that's why first you have to go through synopsis, and then so graphs. Graphs exist here. So example problems and all the synopsis here. And one more thing here we got is relative motion in one dimension. we didn't cover that topic, relative motion. So when we can cover that chapter, when we can cover that relative motion topic means after the completion of vectors. That is very important. Without knowing the vector addition, we can't know the relative motion concept. So that's why later we can discuss about that relative motion in one dimension. Next, after that we have this theory bits. Theory bits we have first. So the first exercise, theory bits, that is you have total 42 bits. If you are perfect about these classes, then these theory bits are very easy. Theory bits are very easy. That directly if you are perfect while listening the classes, after seeing this bit, after seeing the bits, we can answer this easily, no doubt about that. So next, module 1 questions here. We have module 1 20 questions in module 1. So that in that 3 questions from relative velocity. Don't go through the relative velocity concept. So you have 17 questions in that first 17 questions in module 1, and you have hints also. Next, module 2, 23 questions from the module 2 except relative velocity. You have again hints for this. Next, module 3 you have 22 questions, and module 4 except relative velocity. So you have 11 questions from this. So homework module 1, module 2. So next chapter onwards, I will complete module 1 classwork, and you can do module 1 homework. So whatever are the topics covered in the present class, then we will give the assignment for that. So for this chapter, you can go through all these questions because the chapter completed. So first go through theory bits, next go through module 1, module 2, module 3. So later that we will explain. The next chapter onwards, I will explain the classwork. Next we can do the homework. So there is no tough problems in this, very easy. If you are perfect, in these concepts, this is very easy. So first, at least we have to do homework problems. So let us say module 1 homework. So page number 80. In page number 80, you have module 1 homework, module 2 homework, hints. So module 1, module 2, you have homework. At least we have to complete homework problems. So after opening the college, we can discuss about classwork problems. First, you have to complete these homework problems. So it's a very, these problems is very easy, you can do, no problem. Thank you. Next class onwards, we can start new chapter and new concepts. Heat topic, heat chapter. So because the remaining mechanics and motion a plane or vectors and mechanics, this head to head teaching is very easy to go through those topics. So this is for our convenience, we are doing the online classes. In this, not easy understanding vectors concept, especially vectors concept is not easily understandable. So that is later we can discuss about that. Next class onwards, we can start heat topic. Thank you.